Hello, learners. In this video, let's discuss about Hive and how it can be implemented in a practical way. So to proceed with this, just click on VirtualBox VM, and once you open it, you can see the terminal. Just click on the terminal so that it will land up in this page, CloudRun and Quick Start. So now, if you want to log in Hive account, just write Hive here. So once you write Hive, you can see that definitely you will be able to log in into Hive platform. So here you can see some warnings. For now, no need to bother about it. Just you can ignore it. So one more thing, whenever you write some commands here, if you want to clear the screen, you can just hit Ctrl plus L. Ctrl plus L. So that will help you to clear the screen. So now remember that each command should be terminated by semicolon. So let us see what all databases I have in Hive. So what I'm writing now, show databases. As I said, there should be semicolon. Let me hit enter. You can see I have a default. What is this default? Basically, this default would be like a default database. Okay. So these are the two databases I have created before. You can see like export_db and another one, Hive tutorial. Right? So if we have any databases, it will be displaying. So now let's try to create a database. So how to create it? Very simple. Create database, and then I can write the database name here. Say for example, I'm writing like Tutorial-1. Right? So I have to end up with a semicolon. So let me run it. You can see it's actually done. You can see OK message here. And also what is the time taken for that, right? 0.061 seconds, right? So now I have created a database. So let's see whether it is created or not. So to display the databases, what is the command we have to write? Show databases semicolon. You can see that now Tutorial-1 is created here, right? So in case if I want to clear the screen, how can I do that? Yes, Ctrl L, right? So perfect. Now I want to connect to the database that I have created. What is the name of the database that I have created? Tutorial-1, right? So if I want to connect to that, I have to write use database name, right? Use database name. So what is my database name? So I can write like Tutorial-1, right? Use Tutorial-1. Don't forget to put the semicolon, right? So whoever knows SQL already, you find it to be very easy. If you do not know SQL also, no issues. We are going to learn it from the scratch. Okay. So now you can see that the time taken is 0.022 seconds, right? I hope that is clear to you, right? So we can see the database now. We could connect it to the database also, right? So let us now proceed with that. In case if you want to clear the screen, you can clear it, right? So let us see. Now we know how to create a database and also how to connect it to the database, right? Let us now try to create a tabular column now. So I'm going to create a table. Say create table, right? So let me name it like students underscore list. So what is meant by the students underscore list? This is the name of the tabular column that I am creating. You can give your own name. Whatever you wish, you can proceed with that, right? So now open parenthesis. So let me start with an ID, right? So the first column, what I want is like ID. So that should be begin, right? So let me write the next one, say name of the student, maybe the data type is string. So let me give enter and then let me give result, right? So the result of the student, so let it be string, right? So let me close the parenthesis and semicolon now. Let's see whether it is working or not. Yes, it is working successfully. You can see that it has taken 0.246 seconds. Actually, it will not take this much time just because I was pausing in the middle. It was taking this time. Actually, it is really quick, right? So, next, what we can do, let's see whether the table is created or not. So let me write show tables. You can see it has created the table. Whatever tables I have now, you can see students underscore list. If you see that, that is the table I have actually created, right? So now you can see the table name here. That is nothing but students underscore list, right? So now once I create the table, now in case if I want to see the schema of the table that I have created, what I can write describe. What is the name of the table I have created? Students underscore list, right? Describe students underscore list. So once you hit enter, you can see ID, big int, name, string, result, string. This is what I have created already, right? So this is the schema of the students list table, right? So now in case if I want additional information about the tabular column that I have created, I can write like describe formatted, right? So I'm doing it slowly, formatted. And what is the name of the tabular column? Yes, so students underscore list, right? So again, semicolon, let me run it now. You can see like a lot of information you can see here, right? So once I give that, you can see where I have written, you can see that the information like detailed table information, you can see like database, tutorial-1, and also like who is the owner, Cloudra, when it is created, lost access time, retention, location, right? You will be able to get lot of information, even the storage information over here, and what is the total time taken here, right? So basically we are getting more information here when you write describe, formatted, and then table name, right? So let us now see how to insert values into the table that we have created, right? So what I'm going to do now, let me write insert into, what is the name of the tabular column? Say students underscore list, right? So students underscore list, right? And I'm going to add values, right? So what I have written, insert into, and then this is the name of the tabular column, and then I'm going to add values here, right? So what are the values I want to add it? I can do it. For now, let's start with the first one. Say, for example, the first one is like ID. If you remember, the first column I have given ID, and the second column is actually name, right? So let me write the name here now. Say, for example, let me write like Annie, right? Let me write Annie here. So whatever name you wish, you can give it, right? So once you do that, what was the next one? The next column was actually result, right? So result in the sense it can be pass or fail. So whatever I want to give, let me write like pass. Okay. So I have given that. I have given the data now. So what I'm going to do, let me do one thing. Right. So what I'm going to do now, let me close this. Let me see. You can see now like launching job 1 out of 3. You can see what are we getting over here. You can see the total jobs is equal to 3 and launching job 1 out of 3, and also the number of reduced tasks is set to 0, right? So I'll be getting a lot here, but one thing if you notice here, you can see map reduce over here, right? So now let's try to understand this. The most important thing that you have to remember is whenever you want to insert values into the tabular column, insert is actually not the right choice, right? So now just I'm showing you how to do it with the insert. But here if you see that only one value I have inserted, for this itself, you can see like how much time it has consumed, right? What is the reason? Because it is actually because of map reduce, right? But if you work with the SQL, like it will happen in milliseconds or microseconds, right? So that's the thing we can notice when we write with insert. So insert actually triggers map reduce in the background, right? So now let's see how can we insert multiple records into the Hive table, right? So let's now try to do that. See, let me write insert into, right? Insert into, and then the table name is students underscore list and then values, right? So let me open parenthesis. Let me give the information now, right? So 2 comma, let me write the name like Akash, comma, and then I'm writing like pass. Okay, so let me write pass, right? So let me close the bracket now, and then comma, the next parenthesis. The next one I'm writing like 3 comma, right? Let me write the name now, Roja, right? Randomly I'm writing some name here, comma, and then I'm writing fail here, right? So to understand it better. So let me open another parenthesis. So for this time, let me write like 5 comma. Say, let me write a name, Adarsh, right? So let me write fail again. So let me close the parenthesis and then comma and then open another parenthesis. So let me write for 4 now, right? So let me write Lata. So let me write pass because it is Lata, right? So now the next one is like I have done this, and then okay. So let me put it in the next one. See, I'm finishing it off now. Let's see. Let me put the semicolon now, right? So now you can see that what is happening here. You can see a lot here, right? So once I inserted, like you can see that still the command is running, and you can see like a launching job 1 out of 3, number of reduced tasks, right? So finally it has taken around 19.041 seconds, right? So again, you can see that it is basically using MapReduce only, right? So now we know how to insert multiple records into the tabular column in Hive, right? So let's now see, let's try to display the tabular column now. So what we will write, select, right, from, right? So let me write select from, and then what is the table name? Let's write that. Let's see whether it is working or not. you can see that we are getting the tabular column now. This is the information I have given. So whatever order I have given, after 5 I have given 4. In the same order I am getting it over here, right? So now this is clear. So here whenever we do this, we have to remember one thing, like where is this data actually exactly getting saved? Where it is getting saved by default. So remember, whenever we talk about Hive, there would be two things. One is about data and another one is about schema. Schema is nothing but the metadata. So when I say metadata or schema, by default, it will be stored in the database. The another one is about data, where the data will be saved is by default, it will get stored in HDFS, right? So it will get stored in HDFS by default, right? So now here you can see how this is basically working. So till now we have seen how to create a database, how to connect with the database, how to create a tabular column, how to insert values into it, right? So the basic stuff we know now. Let us now see about the, as I said, how the data will be actually stored, right? So now one more thing I want to add it, right? So the thing is like schema, right? The schema, which is nothing but metadata, I told that the schema will be updated frequently. And also, we should get a more, more quick access to the schema, right? But when we use HDFS actually do not support that updation. So basically, retrieval from HDFS would be time consuming. The databases support updations and also it can support quick access. So it is an ideal choice to keep the metadata. Right. So let me open another terminal now, right? So let me open another terminal now. Let's work on this. Okay. So what I'm going to write now, Hadoop fs hyphen, right? So let me write ls and then I will show you what I'm trying to achieve now. So Hive and warehouse. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I want to check the Hive warehouse directory in a terminal. So you can see the supergroups here, right? You can see I have company, I have export DB, Hive tutorial DB, and also Olympic. Now Tutorial-1 is also created. So you can see all the data over here. So this is what I said, right? So the data will be stored here, right? So now, if you see that whatever files I have already created, that you can see it over here, right? So how can we see the files here, right? So let's now try to do that. Let me write the same, right? So warehouse slash, and then I want to check with tutorial1.db, right? So let me see what I could see here. You can see students list here, right? So we have created a tabular column, right? So we can see the tabular column over here. So what I'm going to do now, let me put that over here from this students underscore list, right? So let me run it now. You can see now two items. So what are these two items? If you remember, first I have inserted one row. If you remember, Annie's data, right? So after that, I was inserting some more rows. I guess like 4 rows we have added, right? So two insert statements are there. That is why it is showing 2 items. I hope it is clear till now. Right. So now, in case if I want to see the content here, what I can do now, so let me write the same over here. What I'm going to do, instead of ls, right? So instead of ls, so display the content, what we will write, right? Cat, right? So I have written cat, and more than that, what I'm going to do now, let me run it now. You can see the data now. Annie, pass, Akash, pass, Roja, fail. Right? So can you see the data now? If you look at the change, like still there is no change, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. So I'm getting in the same order only. So do not bother about it, right? So don't worry about it. So I hope it is clear. Uh, we could read the contents of customer list, sorry, students list table from the terminal now, right? So the table name is student list. We were able to display the contents now, right? So now in case if I write select from, let me write like students underscore list. Now you can see that okay. So let me write select this from students underscore list. I should be able to see that. You could see that syntax error near. Okay. So what is the error we could see here? Select. Exactly. From students underscore list. Right? Let me run it.